Welcome to Linux for the Rest of Us, episode number 86. The show about the Linux operating system, many of its facets, many of its separate distributions, applications, the way it's being used in the world, and how it relates to you, and any other good news that we can dig up. And when I say me, no, when I say we, I don't mean just me. I mean the man who brings the goods week after week, our Linux maven, door-to-door geek, Steve McLaughlin from door-to-doorgeek.com. What's up, Door?
Hey, hey.
What is up?
Another eventful week in the McLaughlin household.
Really?
Yeah, but it's all junk. I mean, you know, youngest son bleeding all over the place, me going to the doctors, you know, me being offered Red Hat certification for 25% off, which I might go for. I don't know.
Damn. We went from alarming to interesting. First of all, I hope your kid's all right.
Oh, he's fine. Okay. As soon as he could touch the back of his head and not see blood, he was perfectly fine. He wanted to rock on.
Oh, okay, good. All right, whew. And you're going to do some Red Hat training?
I don't know, because here's the gimmick. If I do it and I don't change jobs, it's a complete throwaway waste of everything. And it ain't cheap. It's $3,000, 25% off, $2,250. That's still a large amount of moolah.
Yeah.
So if I take it, it has to be with the intent of going for a better job.
I see. I see.
Oh, no.
Well, let us know what you do. Good luck with whatever you decide to do.
Trust me, you guys will know. Okay. Well, I have to ask you also, Steve, because I never asked you, how was your week, man?
My week is great. I'm feeling great. I have no complaints. I should have some, but I don't. So I'm rolling along, moving pretty good. Thanks for asking.
No problem. Well, complaints are like, I was going to say buttholes. Everybody has them. It's just a question of, are they real or not, you know? Yeah,
it's true. Most complaints can be handled by yourself and might be the result of not taking responsibility for something if you complain about it a little too much. So anyway, what I really wanted to say when you asked me that question, now that I think about it, because there is something going on, is I recently found Jimmy John's. Know what Jimmy John's is? Do you have Jimmy John's there?
I don't believe so.
Jimmy John's is this new sandwich shop that keeps popping up all over the place, and one just popped up right down the street from me. It's like Subs, but they deliver freakishly fast delivery is what they say.
Oh.
And these guys are not a sponsor, all right? I'm not plugging something here. But they're damn good sandwiches, man. They make their own bread. I'm getting addicted. So check out Jimmy John's if you have one near you.
Jimmy John's gourmet sandwiches.
Gourmet.
Not just sandwiches.
Okay,
but cool.
He even says at the top of his menu, the reason I put gourmet on here is because my mom told me to. He's like, I wanted to put really good, and she said put gourmet instead.
Well, at least he's honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
All right, what's up with the basic this week?
Well, first, interlude. Okay, I got to mention because I got to mention it someplace. I just put the link in the show in the chat. It's called LackRack. Just Google search LACKRAC. Okay. I am not oozing cash. Okay, I cannot just put something on a piece of plastic and then go tell my wife about it. Hey, just spent $200. You know, I'm not that kind of family household.
Right.
So I need to find alternatives to popular solutions. Okay. I was given a legitimate rack mountable server from Tracy Holtz.
Okay.
You encouraged me to buy a DBX 266 XL compressor noise gate, which is also rack mountable. I needed a way to get these things organized without spending $100 on a friggin' rack, where I only need like a rackette, just a little.
A rackette,
you know? Yeah, it didn't sound right. But you know,
I know what you mean.
Okay, now if you go to lackrack.org, LACKRACK.org, pretty sure, yeah, it automatically redirects you to Wiki EH0NL, which I guess is Netherlands. I don't know.
Oh, the lack. The lack is an IKEA table. I see. Okay.
And the width of that table just so happens to be less than 1/16 off from what your typical rack is in a server room or in an audio room. If you scroll all the way down, the one I really like is the triple lack rack deluxe, where the guy basically bought 3 of these, stacked them on top of one another, put a piece of metal, I guess, reinforcement down the 2 front sides, and he has a genuine rack in his closet.
That's so awesome.
Where it would normally cost $200-$300 for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, those things are like $15 each, right?
Yes, you can get them, I believe, on sale for $15. Normal is like $21, I think.
Okay, and they look good.
They look very acceptable.
The lack rack. This is hilarious. I love it.
So I'm going to be buying me a couple lack racks here and hooking myself up because I just think neater, more organized would make everything here better, kind of thing. And I'll say now, if anybody out there knows of a system, I'll say, to where I can basically have a movable wall, like right here, a couple feet behind me. The gimmick is it has to be nearly 6 feet high and 4 feet across at least to cover up the camera frame. I need to try to look more professional.
You're going to do green screen?
At least white screen. I mean, at least something flat colored.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's what the real goal is. So just something flat. A, ain't no TV. B, ain't no couch. Or other weird things that get stored down here.
Makes sense.
While this is my house, I don't have much say.
I think that that's great. See, while you're moving forward, I'm going backwards, having my cat gym in the back with a cat running up and down it quite often.
Well, you're already established. Now it just reminds people that you're real.
Oh, okay.
Did that sound believable?
I wish I would have thought of that. Thanks, man.
I do what I can. Okay, now we're going to jump into the basic. Okay, yes. Now the basic bacon.
Bacon. Come on, it's on the mind. On the mind.
When is it not? Okay. I agree. I can't really explain this. It's a video put out by the Linux Foundation talking about the girth and the importance of the impact of the Linux kernel. I didn't expect you to watch this video before we went, Steve. I don't know if you have a system set up where we can actually watch it. Yeah. It isn't long. It's maybe 2 minutes long.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Switching over now. Unmuting the audio channel for the video, and here we go.
You use Linux every day, whether you know it or not. Over 850,000 Android phones running Linux are activated every single day. Compare that to just 30,000 Windows phones, according to the latest reports. That means 100 Android devices have come online just since you started watching this video. Nearly 700,000 TVs are sold every day, most of which are running Linux. 8 out of 10 financial trades are powered by Linux. 9 out of 10 of the world's supercomputers run Linux. Google, Twitter, Facebook, and Amazon are all powered by Linux. So, how is Linux developed to achieve all of this? Unlike other operating systems, like Windows or iOS, Linux is built collaboratively across companies, geographies, and markets, resulting in the largest collaborative development project in the history of computing. Just since 2005, about 8,000 developers from almost 800 companies have contributed to the Linux kernel. These
Yep, that's my end. Or let's blame YouTube for that.
YouTube.
All right. Well, let me take it off full screen. That usually helps. Here we go.
Contributions have resulted in 15 million lines of code, 1.5 million lines written in just the last couple of years. Consider that Homer's epic Iliad poem is a mere 15,000 lines of text. The novel War and Peace, just 560,000 words. But it's not just about the sheer number of lines of code. It's also about how quickly Linux is developed and released. For example, a major new kernel comes out every 2 to 3 months. Compare this to years for competing operating systems. This is made possible by a unique collaborative development process. When submitting code to the Linux kernel, developers break changes into individual units called patches. A patch describes the lines that need to be changed, added, or removed from the source code. Each patch can add a new feature, new support for a device, fix a problem, improve performance, or rework things to be more easily understood. Developers post their patches to the relevant mailing lists, where other developers can reply with feedback. When the patch is close to being release ready, it is accepted by a senior Linux kernel developer, or maintainer, who manages one or more of 100 different sections of the kernel. While this isn't a guarantee that it will go to the main line, it's certainly a good sign. Here it gets an even more extensive evaluation. When the maintainer finishes their review, he or she will sign off on the patch and send it on to Linux creator and Linux Foundation fellow Linus Torvalds, who has the ultimate authority on what is accepted into the next release and what is not. Nearly 10,000 patches go into almost every new release. About 6 patches are applied to the kernel each hour. Linux's rate of development is simply unmatched. Today, Linux is dominating on mobile devices, in the enterprise and web infrastructure, data centers, supercomputing, and more. What's next? Because together, we're ready.
They just came out with that?
I don't think it was too long ago.
April 3rd? That's a fantastic video. I don't think they could have did a better job than they did. That's amazing.
Yeah, the thing I like about it was no big words, no fancy acronyms, commonsensical.
I understood it. That's saying something. I understood it, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm the noob.
Yeah, and it's really hard to comprehend. Every 10 minutes, there's a patch, either an enhancement or a fix, being put into the works that every single user of Linux gets the availability of completely for free. I mean, that kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, that's really wild. It's just quite amazing. What amazes me the most is that Linus still has the final say. Everything goes through him still.
Yeah, and to be honest, I will say this: I'm all for republic, democracy, whatever. I believe you need a single person at the helm to have a single viewpoint of guidance, of goals, what should be done, kind of thing, or else all hell's a break loose kind of thing. You know, you have people demanding one thing, other people demanding something else, without the vision and goal of being modular, scalable, fast, flexible. You know.
So you like Apple? You like Steve Jobs?
He's dead. No.
I always try to put words in Door's mouth and get him all fired up on Apple.
And honestly, I still haven't read the biography. I never will.
No, you know what? I was defending them a couple shows ago about how his vision was more about creating great products than trying to make tons of money. And that might have been true, but when I called Apple for support on my iTunes account the other day, they told me they were going to charge $45 until I told them that I have an iPad. Because they said if you don't have any Apple device and you're using iTunes on your PC, it's a $45 charge. And I said, these are my exact words, "That's hilarious. I'm going to get my iPad right now." All right.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody's own viewpoint equates to their own truth. You know what I mean? And people, not you, Steve, people who love Apple products believe all he did was make great products, beautiful products, and his only goal was to improve upon them, kind of thing. My viewpoint says his goal was lock in and close source. I mean,
right.
Right. And nobody's 100% right. You know what I mean?
Right.
History will be the true thing, and that would be long past we're dead.
This is true.